Once upon a time, nestled within a tranquil village that seemed forgotten by the relentless march of time, there lived a mother goat with her 3 beloved kids. Their dwelling was humble, a weathered cottage of timber and stone that bowed under the weight of many winters, barely standing as if ready to surrender and crumble back into the earth. The kids were 3 in number, yet each possessed a spirit entirely his own. The eldest was bold and often reckless. The middle one followed blindly in those brash footsteps. But the youngest was a diligent, soft-spoken, and obedient soul who never uttered a word without a profound and somber reason. Their mother watched over them with a devotion so fierce and absolute, it was the very air they drew into their lungs. But that heavy oaken door, that slab of wood, was soon to become the arbiter of their very fate. "My dear, sweet children," the mother whispered one morning, her voice laden with the heavy necessity of her journey, "I must venture deep into the obsidian shadows of the forest to gather sustenance for our table. You must bolt this door from within. Do not yield to any soul who knocks. When I return, I shall provide the sacred sign, so you will know it is truly your mother." She sang to them a melody that was part lullaby, part protective shield. "3 little kids, with your horns so small, open the door at your mother's call. For mother brings you succulent leaves upon her lips, nourishing milk in her teats, a heavy block of salt upon her back, and a fragrant bouquet of wildflowers tucked beneath her arms. Do you understand, my loves? Do you swear to remain hidden?" "Yes, mother," they chimed in unison. "We shall open for no one but you." But shadows possess ears that never sleep. The wolf, a creature of malice lurking in the nearby thicket, had memorized every syllable of her song. No sooner had the mother's silhouette vanished into the mist than a heavy, ominous thud struck the timber. A coarse, guttural voice groaned from the darkness. "3 little kids, open for your mother." The youngest froze, his heart stilled by an icy instinct. "No, that is not her voice. Mother speaks with the softness of spun silk, and her voice is high and crystalline. But I have caught a cruel, lingering cold in the depths of the forest," the wolf lied, his voice sounding like jagged stones grinding together. "My throat is parched and raw, and that is why I sound so strange to your ears. Look beneath the door. See my feet? They are white and clean, dusted by the path, just like your mother's." The eldest brother, weary of his own trembling fear and desperate for normalcy, reached for the iron latch. "It must be her. She knows the secret words. Why do you doubt?" "No, brother. Stay your hand. It is a lethal trap," the youngest pleaded, his voice a frantic whisper, but his warning fell on deaf ears. The heavy bolt slid back with a mournful creak. The door swung wide, and the living nightmare stepped into their sanctuary. The wolf's roar shattered the fragile silence of the home like glass. "Good evening, little ones. Did you truly miss your mother so dearly?" He loomed over them, his eyes glowing like dying coals in a forgotten hearth. "Running is a futile endeavor now, for the house is locked from the inside, and I hold the key to your end. Tell me, who shall be my first morsel? The eldest, or perhaps the middle one?" He lunged with terrifying speed. The eldest was snatched from his hiding place behind the stove, his cries cut short by a massive paw. "I have you now, little wretch. Hiding will not save you from the hunger that gnaws at my ribs." "Please, Mr. Wolf," the kid whimpered, his pulse hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird. "I am so very small. I have done no wrong to you, guilty or innocent," the wolf sneered, his breath foul with the scent of old blood. "My hunger knows no mercy and recognizes no law. You are but a fleeting snack to me. We shall see who arrives first, your mother to mourn you, or the end of your short life." Hours later, when the mother goat finally returned, the suffocating silence that greeted her was more terrifying than any scream could ever be. Her heart turned to a shard of ice. The door stood ajar, the threshold empty and cold. "My children? My beautiful children, where are you? Why do you not answer my call?" From the dark, soot-stained depths of the chimney, a faint, trembling whimper emerged. The youngest crawled out, his small face masked in ash and bitter tears. "Mother," the wolf was here. "My brothers, they are gone. He has taken them into the eternal dark." The mother goat did not scream. She did not wail to the heavens. Her tears dried instantly, replaced by a cold, rare lucidity that burned brighter than any flame. Her heart was no longer a vessel for sorrow, but a furnace of searing thirst for justice. She began to dig, deep into the earthen floor. In the very center of the house, beneath the heavy feasting table, she carved a yawning pit. She filled it to the brim with glowing, white-hot embers, and carefully veiled the trap with a delicate, deceptive straw mat. "Go now," she whispered to her only remaining son, her voice as sharp as a razor. "Find the wolf. Invite the godfather to a feast of reconciliation. Tell him, Tell him I have found it in my heart to forgive his sins." The wolf arrived shortly after, his belly still heavy from his previous cruelty, but his bottomless greed remained unsated. He grinned, imagining a final, delicious triumph over the broken mother. "Eat, Godfather," the mother said, her face a perfect, porcelain mask of grief. "Eat until you are full, for this feast is prepared in the sacred and solemn memory of my departed children." But as the wolf lowered his heavy, wretched frame onto the bench, the mat gave way beneath him. The earth itself seemed to open its mouth and swallow him whole. He plummeted directly into the fiery abyss of the pit. "Burn, Godfather," the mother cried, her voice finally breaking like a long-awaited storm. "Burn, just as my heart burns every agonizing hour for my stolen children. Feel the fire that you yourself have lit within this house. Let the flames consume the evil you brought to my hearth." The mother and her youngest son stood side by side, illuminated by the flickering orange light, watching as evil was finally consumed. Not by brute strength alone, but by the razor-sharp edge of a mother's wit and her unwavering resolve. And from that day forth, a solemn, hallowed peace returned to the small cottage on the edge of the ancient forest.